for you lot last night. And listen, Arsenal look like they could be champions right now.
Well, I mean, let's not go too far. There's still a long way to go, man. We've got over 10 games to play. This is where it matters. And we are absolutely demolishing teams at the moment, so for fun. And we get into a stage where we can actually chill out and we can actually bring on some of our players. I mean, saw Cedric come on last night. I forgot we had him. That's when you know Arsenal are winning comfortably, mate, when we can afford to make subs like that. I thought we were electric. I thought we were outstanding. I thought it was business as usual for what we've seen in 2024 of Arsenal. I have to say this. I thought Sheffield United was shockingly bad, man. Like, I have to say that to start with. To be allowing your fans to be going home 15 minutes in, and I don't blame them, by the way. You know you've had a bad day at the office, right? But let's be real. We are looking very good at the moment. Big up to Mikel Arteta. I think in 2024, he has impressed a lot of Arsenal fans more than he ever has done. Whether you are convinced by him, whether you don't really like him, whether you think he's the man, whether you think he's going to be better than Pep or Klopp, he has convinced a lot of people that what he's doing right now, everything he's touching is turning to gold. Now, we've got to do the deficit against Porto because not everything went right in 2024. Of course, we got done over there, but way we're playing, I fancy us to turn that around. I fancy us to do very well against Brentford. And then, of course, we sit back, we get our popcorn out, and we watch Man City, Liverpool relaxed. And that's what I want to be doing, man. Right now, we are scoring goals. We are actually not conceding many either. If you look at how good we are defensively, everything at the moment is going well. And it's very hard sometimes to do both of those things, Tel. It's very hard to get a balance between actually you're a really good defensive side, but actually you're smashing in goals as well. We haven't really had that balance for a while. And for me right now, I'm loving watching it, man. It's been fantastic. It's been enjoyable. I know for a fact that we are scaring teams, as everyone likes to say. I know that's true. You know, LB, the boys that I know, Errol, like lads that are supporting Liverpool and City, they don't want to admit it. Of course they don't. I wouldn't want to admit it either. But they're not enjoying watching Arsenal right now. They want us. They want us when we were losing to West Ham and Fulham. That's the Arsenal they want to see. They don't want us putting sixes and fives and fours past teams. They don't want us going to the Emirates and dominating a Liverpool side that's going for the title, beating them 3-1. They don't want them having 30 plus goals and hardly conceding any going to the Etihad when they've seen Marcus Rashford getting behind them a few times. They don't fancy that. I know for a fact. But we've got to do it, man. We can't sit there and talk and be all actions and actions. No, go and do it. Go and beat them at the Etihad. That's what they'll say. Man City fans will say that. Come on then. You've been great against Burnley and Sheffield United. Now come and do it against us. And I hope that we can, man. And that's the question mark I'll always have over it. Can we do it in the big moments? Can we get the last third of this season across the line? And that's the question we're always going to have with this side of this squad and with, of course, Mikel Arteta under this regime. At the moment, so it's looking phenomenal. I do want to mention a couple of players because I do think that sometimes we under-mention. Is that a word? I don't know. Go under the radar, should I say. Ben White in this new inverting role is phenomenal. Absolutely fantastic. What a footballer, by the way. A player that sometimes doesn't get enough credit. Allowed Kivior to actually look like a footballer now, not just a good left back, because he looked terrible at that left inverted role when he came and played in a couple of those games. I also think Jorginho and Havertz deserve a mention, and I'll tell you why. When we signed both of them, a lot of Chelsea fans were laughing. Absolutely hilarious, these two signings. They've signed two of our rejects. Both those rejects actually won a Champions League from, by the way, but two rejects that they bought. I was deflated. We signed Jorginho. We were linked with Caicedo. I wanted a centre forward like an Ivan Toney type. We got Havertz, and I'm like, better make this work, Mikel. And I'm not going to say that he has made it work, but he hasn't made them look like flops, in my opinion. Like Havertz was going to look like one, wasn't he? He's playing in midfield at the start of the season. I'm thinking, oh my God, what's going on with this guy? When you look at his numbers and some of his contributions now, actually, it stacks up okay. He's not been a flop. He's not been a horrendous signing, like I thought he was going to be. Jorginho, likewise. I look at what Jorginho has actually bought to Arsenal for 10 to 12 million pounds. He's paid us back that, man, in my opinion. He's been a good player to come in, and he's had some really good contribution for games. So I think those players deserve a mention. And Saka and Martinelli, I mean, people were trying to take them out of combined 11s and stuff like this, and they're no good. They've had a flop season. It's terrible to watch both of them. They're now starting to get on the score sheet as well. And Martin Odegaard is a pleasure, man. I'm sorry. Absolute pleasure to watch. So, yeah, man, I'm enjoying watching Arsenal right now. And people know me, I'll always call out the team and the manager when they get things wrong. And I'll always look at why we didn't win a game or why we didn't get 3 points from a game, right? But when we're doing well, I'm sorry, man. There's nobody that can sit there and tell me right now that Arsenal aren't the best team in the country to watch right now and aren't considered as one of the best in Europe to watch right now at this moment in time. That's where I'm at, man.
I know you hate Arsenal, LB. We know how much you hate them.
Yeah, man.
They just can't. They look unstoppable at the moment. Forget the goals a minute. 31 goals in the last 7 games. In those 7 games, they've only conceded 7 shots on target.
Yeah, that's wild.
That for me is the stat that could win them the Premier League. That inability of teams to be able to break them down and even get good quality shots off against them. That for me is the stat that if you're a City fan as you are, or a Liverpool fan watching, that must be the most concerning, really.
Is that the most concerning? It's one of the concerns. Obviously, listen, Arsenal in the league at the moment are flying, man. Like every time you watch them, they're just battering teams, man. It's actually crazy. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I watched the first 45 minutes yesterday, and then I turned it off, man. I couldn't watch any more. I couldn't watch any more of that because I heard the Arsenal fans in the away end singing, "We're going to score in a minute," yeah, and it was true. It was true. I was sitting here watching it going, they're singing it as a joke, but it's actually true. They're going to score another one in a minute. And they did. You know what I mean? They was cooking. The way that they moved the ball, Rice is looking really good. I think this, for me, is the best Rice has played all season. The way he's going forward and linking up, he looks like he's really settled in now, looks confident in that position.
In that 8th position, man, attacking more. Yeah, he looks phenomenal, man.
He looks decent. Jorginho, he's going under the radar massively. Odegaard's moving the ball well. So, yeah, like, what can I say, man? Like, and I can't even say anything about the defense because, like, yesterday they didn't really have too much defending to do. But even when they have had defending to do against, like, Newcastle and that, they've done it pretty well. So, listen, for Arsenal, they just need to keep getting the wins. Yeah, I wouldn't start panicking if you started scraping a couple 1-0s, like if the goals dried up a little bit, because it's all about the 3 points now. The goal difference that they've just absolutely smashed. I mean, they're plus 10 on City now. That's huge. That's an extra point come the end of the season. Yeah, so they've slammed it there. I think Arsenal need to beat City when they play us at the Etihad Stadium. And I know some Arsenal fans agree, some Arsenal fans disagree. I think
they will.
Arsenal, well, I'd like to think that we'll win, but I think they need to win. I think Arsenal need to win that game.
This weekend and the game they play against you is interesting because if you and Liverpool draw and they win and then go above you both, a draw could be good enough, but it depends on what Liverpool do. And that's why potentially. So that's why this 3-horse race is so interesting because it's not just about you've got another. There's always another factor there. It isn't just about what you do versus City. It's Liverpool are involved in it as well. But I actually do think Arsenal, with their current form and the way watching you at the weekend, you dominated us, but we still had 10 counter-attack opportunities against you. Now our final ball was poor, or the shots were off. Like Rashford actually should have gone through and scored when he had the ball wrong. There was a cross from Bruno that was missed by McTominay, and then Rashford took an air shot. That should be a goal. And there was 3 or 4 others in the game, and I actually noted them down because a lot of people have said City concede a lot of counterattacks. So I thought in the game, every time United counter, whether it ends in a shot or not, I'm going to note down the minute, what happened, why it went wrong. 10 times in the game. If you afford that amount of counterattack opportunities this weekend to Liverpool, and when you play Arsenal in a few weeks, both will beat you.